Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 4, the final day of Video Game Choo-Choo's Game of the Year podcast deliberations. I'm John, and with me today are the 3 big boys of Video Game Choo-Choo. We got Michael.
The beginning of the end.
We have Ryan.
Hi, folks. I'm back. It's me.
And we have Niall.
Let's just get through this, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we are going to be talking about 2 categories today to round off the end of the year. The first category will be Worst Game, and the second category will be the Top 10 Best Games of 2016.
Oof.
Gentlemen, are you ready?
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm strapped in. I'm good to go.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Alright. So, one last time to make sure everybody knows. The way that we do this is we take the category, there is a list of games that were nominated, and each of us will take a game and vote to remove it. If someone wants to defend it, they will. If not, it will be cut. Once we get to a certain number, just something reasonable, we'll try to suss out our top 3. We choose 1 winner and 2 runners-up. The runners-up are not in any specific order, but of course the number 1 is the winner. And, as a warning, especially because this is going to be arguing for the best games of the year, we are going to talk about spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you care about any story, especially story-driven games from this year, do not listen to this podcast until after you've played everything that you want to play. And then once you have, come back, join us for the festivities, and round out the year with Video Game Choo-Choo. Alright. So, we are going to start with the worst game of 2016. I will first read the nominations, and then we have write-in votes from Rose and Scott, who are not on this episode. So I will begin by reading the nominations for worst game of the year. Bombshell, No Man's Sky, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants in Manhattan, Pokemon Go, The Walking Dead: Michonne, Battleborn, Miitomo, Bad Rats Show, Paper Mario Color Splash, Mighty No. 9, Homefront: The Revolution, Wild Animal Racing, WWE 2K17, The Witness, Street Fighter V, Hades, and Infinite Air. Alright, now, let's hear our write-ins. Let's hear from Scott first, this time around.
Is that me? My Scott?
I guess. Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Scott writes in.
Don't do a voice.
The Witness.
Don't do a
I'm not
voice.
Yeah, I heard about that, Michael.
I told
Lord
you
gets
about
around.
that. I told you about that.
Oh, I don't remember. Okay. Anyway.
The gossip coming straight from the source.
Yeah, I heard it through the grapevine.
It
bitch.
was
A very short grapevine.
It was spot on. You heard it from the grape.
Yeah.
I heard it from the California Raisin. They came to my house. I was like, "Wow, weren't you guys deemed like illegally racist like in the '80s?" And they're like, "No, man. By the way, I heard Michael's doing an awful Texan accent. Now we're gonna go back to the fucking Smithsonian because they've got the fucking California Raisins in the Smithsonian for some reason."
It was pitch perfect.
Okay.
All right, here is Scott's write-in for worst game. The Witness. Jonathan Blow's Wet and Wild Island Fuck Party is a fucker of a game, and I hate it. The puzzle design, the world design, and the goddamn audio recordings littered throughout the game all reinforce the notion that Jonathan Blow is smarter than you, and he wants to show you how deep and philosophical he is. Words are hard to pronounce, okay? Every single moment I spent with that game, I could feel Blow slowly jerking off all over my face. I totally expected the shitty twist where you can interact with things in the world just like you could the puzzles because I understand pattern recognition. Jonathan Blow, you egotistical fuck. I got to the part where it's supposed to tutorialize you on that shit after having done it several times and felt literally zero towards it. And then right after that, Found another fucking audio log that caused me to groan so hard my eyes rolled back into my head and I actually died in real life. The FMV ending, where you try to reenact shit from the game, but in the real world, made me feel so much empathy for the fucking GoPro that had to record that dreaded footage. I don't care what you want people to watch. I don't care that you want people to watch BBC programming. Blow me, Johnny. The only thing that would make this game better is if there was an actual JPEG of your real life penis, just in case we didn't actually get the metaphor. Congratulations, you made missed. Next year, let's scan these before we read them live.
I read that beforehand.
Thanks for the warning.
I know what y'all expected.
that was a little blue.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear from Rose, and hopefully she doesn't talk about penises.
Jonathan Blow jerking off on someone's face.
Well, we'll see. Rose has quite the manifesto put together for worst game, so I'll just knock it all out in one go here.
Okay.
Rose writes in, worst game. This is tricky because a large part of my existence revolves around the mockery and discussion of terrible, terrible games. As such, I'm going to make a couple arguments for a few of these games on the list and let you decide which I made best. Paper Mario Color Splash is an abhorrent blight on a series that was once ruled by rich writing, innovative yet accessible RPG mechanics, and characters who were so full of personality they became unforgettable. Color Splash continues down the boulevard of broken dreams that Sticker Star pioneered, but somehow goes even darker. While personality can still be found, the game feels less like a Paper Mario and more like the skin of a Paper Mario stretched over a horrible, deformed tragedy of a video game.
What did these two eat before they wrote these?
Between every NPC being replaced by a toad and 90% of the combat being a completely useless drag of an endeavor, Paper Mario Color Splash is a personal attack on me, and I can feel the bile in my stomach wrenching right now.
Jesus.
Alright. Number 2. Mighty Number 9 is a painful case as well. I'm a huge Mega Man fan, so when they announced Mighty Number 9 after the great Mega Man massacre of the early 2010s, I was instantly on board. Flash forward to now, and I don't know if I've ever seen a more soulless game. From the enemies to the characters to the level themselves, nothing about this game stands out as anything but manufactured. The worst part about a lot of, quote, worst games is that there's usually a heart underneath. You can feel something deep inside, even just the fragment of an idea. In Mighty Number 9, there's no heart, just cold, empty steel. Alright, moving on. For miscellaneous, The Witness is a fuckboy fantasy game filled with terrible ideology, but I also didn't expect anything from Jonathan, quote, friendzone blowfuck. Mitomo is not a game, unless you're counting the Gachapon games for clothes, which barely count. Pokemon Go also doesn't really feel like a game for me, and that was more of a vehicle for interaction that always revolved around doing things that weren't in the game in the end, so I don't really feel strongly for it. And then she says, whoever put Wild Animal Racing on this list is a goddamned fool because that game is a masterpiece. So,
okay.
Those are Rose's write-ins.
Thank you very much, Rose, and I don't know if I should be thanking Scott, but
no.
You know what?
Nope.
Yeah.
Never thank Scott.
I mean, thank you, Scott, for making Michael say those dirty words, because it was funny. No.
You don't need someone to coerce me into saying dirty words.
Yeah, I know. I'm
just ask me.
All right. So this time, I am going to say, Ryan,
okay.
You go first.
I'm gonna go with what I think is a pretty easy one on here, and ask if we can just cross Pokemon Go off this list.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't feel strongly
Right.
about it.
Right.
I'll take your like 5 minutes of silence there as a implied affirmative.
I mean, yeah, like Rose kind of hit the nail on the head there. That it is more just like a vehicle to go places and interact with environments than like an actual like full on like game. There is something to it. There is a little bit of a competitive aspect to it, but I don't know.
It's less traditional, and the attempts it makes at those less traditional gamifications, which is a word I don't really love, but like those attempts are still successful.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I had a lot of fun playing Pokemon Go with friends of mine, so to say it would be the worst game would be to discount some of like the truly atrocious experiences that we have on this list.
Absolutely. All right.
Anyway,
I'm gonna go next, and I will be choosing Street Fighter V.
Yeah, that's
That
fine.
game. That game
Yeah.
has a lot of problems. Don't get me wrong, but its fighting is so good that I feel like saying that it's one of the worst games of the year is a disservice. It's definitely one of the most disappointing,
yeah,
as we said before, but
yeah,
it's not that bad.
sure.
Niall.
I'm gonna say Battleborn, which is mediocre, but like it's not actively terrible. I don't think.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I mean, that game is more of a joke than anything, but actually playing it... I mean, aside from, like, the character design, which I will go to my grave thinking that is heinous, like, the actual game itself is not, like, the worst thing ever.
No.
No, it's just it went up against Overwatch. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
Overwatch fucking had a tidal wave.
Annihilated it,
Yeah.
All right, Michael, your turn.
Battleborn was like my go-to. Well, The Witness.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I kind of understand where Rose and Scott are coming from, but some of that seems to be like baggage about Jonathan Blow and less about what that game is. I didn't like. I've heard about The Witness for years now, and every time Jonathan Blow would sit there and talk about it, I would just stop listening because I just after. Well, it's with any game. At some point, I just stop listening because I don't want to hear what someone who's creating it thinks about it. I just want to play it. And
Yeah.
so when I finally sat down to play The Witness, I wasn't like blown away. I didn't have a mystical, deep, thoughtful experience. But
no, of course
it's. I think it puts you in a place. And it just presents itself, and it's pretty plain as what it is. I don't think it tries to be... I mean, I didn't finish it, but I think it presents itself as what it is, and then doesn't do anything, like, overtly clever. Maybe Jonathan Blow thinks it's overtly clever, but I don't care what he thinks. I care what that game was, and
Sure.
to me, that game was completely acceptable. I don't think it's... Especially looking at things on this list.
Sure.
That
Yeah.
this is not on there. This game was what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a very, like, divisive game in some ways, but for me, I have almost no opinion on it because I fucking forgot that game came out this year. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was. I was impressed by it when I was playing it for like the 2 or 3 days I played it, and then I forgot about it for a couple weeks. Then went
Yep.
back and was like, oh yeah, and then I was like, okay. All right, and then I forgot about it until about a month ago when we started
Yeah.
making these lists, and somebody
Maybe
was
if we-
like, "Oh my god, it's terrible!" Like, I guess.
Yeah, maybe if we had, like, a most forgettable category, but,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does anyone want to argue for keeping it on?
I don't. I agree with your argument that there, as great as Scott and Rose's arguments against this are, there does seem to be some stuff of dividing the game from its creator. But John, were you going to say something?
I was just gonna say, I don't know. This is kind of a weird argument. I mean, it's not even really an argument. It's more just like a personal statement.
Sure.
Whenever people talked about that game, it sounded really positive. But then when I would, like, just as me, I went to, like, look at gameplay for that game. And every time I looked at one of those puzzles, my eyes would start blurring up. And, like, I would just be like, oh, like there was something about how that game was structured and how those puzzles were structured. It made me, like, I don't know if I'd say physically uncomfortable, but I was just like, I there is no possible way I could play this game. There's something
Sure.
about these puzzles that makes me uncomfortable, like, to try to
Their
suss them out.
lines.
No, it's just like
The lines
none
make
of the
me
fucking
uncomfortable.
none of the fucking rules made any sense to me. Like,
You
it
can't
just-
watch that game be played. You have to, like, the game is designed around fiddling with it.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Just every time that I would see people, like, just, like, because, oh my god, like, when there was a short amount of time where people were just, like, posting, like pictures of the puzzles and asking for help, and every time someone would just, like, show the help, I'd be like, oh, this is a nightmare. This is a fucking nightmare. Like,
You can, no, that's You can't do that to a puzzle game like that. Like, it'd be like if I tried, like Scott points out, it's a lot like Myst. If I explained to you a Myst puzzle, you would probably slap me because you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing with your time? Like, it makes better sense in the context of the video game rather than watching it.
I get it. That's why I'm saying this isn't really an argument. This was just me saying that this was just basically, because this is probably the last time we're ever going to talk about The Witness, so I just wanted to tell that story because it was a really weird, like, month of my life where, like, I would just go on Twitter and be like, what are these people doing to each other? Like, it was fucked up. Anyway, Ryan, please make another cut.
Oh, are we back to me?
Yes.
I'm gonna say we cut Wild Animal Racing because, like, that's a fucking joke game. And I don't really think it should be on this list.
What is it?
I feel like Wild Animal Racing is like the actual like worst game because it is a piece of shit and it's like it is emblematic of a larger problem that is that is coming or that has been like really prominent, especially on Steam over the past year and a half, where just like these garbage piece of shit video games are getting through the system and people are buying them because lol, it's a funny joke, ha ha ha. But it's the kind of game that is burying games that people have put real effort into, and like it is like everything wrong with games at the moment is Wild Animal Racing, in my opinion.
I just Googled it, and one of the first videos was a Jim Sterling video. So yes, that game should stay on this list. It's bad.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
You cannot steer
that's an
in
argument.
Wild Animal Racing properly. Like, it steers itself more or less. You cannot accelerate. Like, you go at the same speed as everyone else. Like, it is broken and fucked. And it might have been intended as a joke, but it's not a funny joke. And
do they charge money for it?
Yes, they do.
Then it should stay on this list.
Fair enough. Alright, then... Can we... See, now that we're getting down to it, I mean, thanks to that argument, I'm kind of feeling like we should cut No Man's Sky off this list. But because I'm seeing stuff on this list that I think are worse than that game.
Sure.
But if anyone wants to make an argument for why No Man's Sky is the worst game of 2016 as opposed to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan, or Mighty Number 9.
It's not.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah. That game is more of a disappointment, and like the game has some really good ideas that they don't even attempt to do, and that's a shame, but I think what's there is not the worst game at all.
No, but I would argue that it's not a good game either. It is It is a very, very early access game. Like that they were charging $60 for, and that's like crazy.
I'm just trying to think about this like in relation to everything else that we have on this list. So
absolutely. Okay.
Anyway,
my turn. Niall.
Yes.
How do you feel about Bombshell?
I feel like I went back and I read my review of that game last night after we recorded, as I was like getting together arguments in my head for this, and I feel like I was way too nice to Bombshell. Like,
wow.
I gave that game 2 stars, but I gave it 2 stars largely because underneath all the awful gameplay and the terrible AI and the just busted systems in that game, I saw a flicker of a character that could potentially work, and I feel like I maybe was too nice to it for like this underlying potential that was just about there in its lead character. But as a game, I feel like, boy, it's real bad. So I think
let's leave it on for now.
I think you should leave it on for now. Yeah.
Okay. Was Homefront: The Revolution really that bad?
No, I mean, I don't know if I would say it was bad or if it's disappointing. It was just... It was weird to take something like Homefront, say you're going to make a new one, and then just not really do much with it. Like, nothing new. Just it almost felt like... It almost felt like Homefront 1 was sold so well that they kind of... Like, if this game had come out a year or two after the first Homefront, I wouldn't be shocked by it. Because it's like, yeah, of course, you shit out a sequel. Or if this game were $40 or $20, like a value game, I'd be like, yeah, you didn't put any money into it. But what comes out is just sort of like an uninspired... Like, it almost felt like they were maybe going to make this game anyways, and then someone said, hey, we've got the Homefront license. They said, bring it on in. But
we could charge $60 now if we use that.
Yeah, I don't think, compared to the other games on this list, I don't think it stands up, but...
Okay.
Like, that should have been at least a mediocre game in a year of great games, and instead it's just, does anyone even remember it? Yeah. It killed a potential franchise in Homefront.
Okay.
So.
Alright. Niall, your turn.
I'm gonna cut The Walking Dead Michonne. It's not a good game, but it is nowhere near as bad as some of these other ones.
Okay. Michael, your cut.
How many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
after
7,
this,
8,
I think
9,
we
10.
can probably suss this out.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, what is Infinite Air?
Infinite Air is a really shitty snowboarding game.
Oh, Steep.
No, it makes Steep look like SSX3. It's like that bad.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, here's our big empty mountain with nothing to do in it. Here's our physics that are broken and don't work right. There's nothing to do in that game. It feels like a pre-alpha of a game, and they have are like, okay, give us full price for this. This is a $60 game, and you're like, oh, like, I wouldn't spend 10 on it, and you know, it's bad.
All right.
It's really bad.
I'm gonna cut WWE 2K17.
Okay.
That's a bad game.
Yeah.
But it has more stuff in it than last year's, even though they took out some other stuff. It's just a bad game in a series of bad games. Like, it almost feels like we're nominating Madden of, like, this isn't the worst game, but fuck. It's that,
WWE.
A lot of these deserve it in spirit.
Yeah.
Alright. So I think we're down to a good number here. Let me go over what we have left real quick. We have Bombshell, TMNT Mutants in Manhattan, Miitomo, Bad Rats Show, Paper Mario Color Splash, Mighty No. 9, Wild Animal Racing, Haiti, and Infinite Air.
I don't know, to kind of sacrifice one of my own here for the process of going through this, I think we can cut Bad Rats Show off this list.
Wow.
Really?
I mean, here's the thing. That game is bad. Like, it fucking sucks, don't get me wrong. But it's a lot of the same kind of thing that Niall made for the argument for Wild Animal Racing, where it's more, like, ideologically bad, because the mechanics of it are basically the same as the original Bad Rats. You know, you drag and drop stuff to make your puzzle, except now that I think about it, they're actually worse. Because,
it's 3D
in the original...
now, right?
Well, yeah, but in the original Bad Rats, you could, like, drag and drop stuff pretty freely, but in the new one, it's on a grid system, and it doesn't snap to the grid. You can only move it on either the X or the Y axis, like, one at a time. And you can't put the mouse on the rat, you have to put the mouse on the arrows pointing to the axes to move it up and down, side by side, like, incrementally. So I played through one level of that game, and I said, fuck it. So technically it is really bad, but at the same time, it's one of those games that was released, like, and they knew it was going to be bad. Like, it's fucking Bad Rats. It's like a meme game at this point.
I don't think that removes it. I think that keeps it on this list.
See, here's the thing. Like, I started that argument, like, halfway through, I was like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm actually making an argument to keep this on the list. So never mind. Keep that on, I think.
How about we cut Mitomo?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
It's a lot like Pokemon Go. It is way lesser than Pokemon Go by a long shot, but it is still kind of similar to Pokemon Go.
I had fun with Mitomo, even though it's bad.
Yeah.
I had some fun with it for the 2 days that everyone loved it.
It's just such like an innocuous, like, free-to-play thing. Like, it's hard to say that that's truly one of the worst games of 2016.
Did anyone who is still on the site's staff touch TMNT?
No, I was there with Austin when they were playing through the end of it, and that game looked really, really bad.
Yeah,
but
it did.
I'm not familiar enough with it to go to bat in their place for that game. But I will say that game is a representation of just poor game design and laziness on Platinum's part, and for that, it's more or less unforgivable. But I don't know. I wish I knew more about that game so I could defend it, but I honestly don't, is the thing.
Yeah.
Can we cut both TMNT and Paper Mario Color Splash?
Rose made an argument for Paper Mario, I think.
Yeah, but compared to the other things that are left, the heaps of pure evil that remain on this list.
Yeah. I think Color Splash can go.
Well,
I think Color Splash can
let
at
me
least
just
go.
Let me just say that, and this is actually not a defense for Color Splash to stay. This is to have it go. There are bits of Color Splash that are really good. Like, I have seen some excellent dialogue within that game.
Yeah.
Like, really funny stuff. And, like, I played a good amount of Paper Mario Sticker Star, and none of that game was funny. Nothing about it was clever in any way. There is something to Color Splash. It's completely undermined by the other 80% of that game, but there's like 20% of a good classic Paper Mario game, and of course that does make it more frustrating, but it's definitely not one of the worst games of the year.
I mean, Sticker Star came out, so, like, I don't know. I get the hope that would have been good, but Sticker Star exists, and that was the last time they did, like, that was the last Paper Mario game.
It was one of those things where there was such an extremely loud outcry against Sticker Star that people were hoping that Nintendo would take some kind of notice, but they didn't. So now, basically, everyone who likes Paper Mario has officially been like, "All right, it's dead. Let's just move on."
Yeah, they should play Inside Bowser Stores because that's where all the good stuff apparently went.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi and all that shit.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, between the two that Rose still has on this list, which is Paper Mario and Mighty Number 9, I would say that Mighty Number 9 is definitely worse.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
I completely agree with her argument for that game being soulless, and I would even go to say that is one of the 3 worst games of this year.
Whew.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's round off some stuff here. Okay, there's a game on this list that we have not talked about yet.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's because it's top 3.
Yeah.
It's the game of the year, I think, arguably.
Do you all think that Haiti is one of the 3 worst games of the year?
No.
Yes.
If you're asking me, I do.
Yes. It's. Do you want to argue for it, or?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
I think with what Niall is saying about the wild animal racing, it's a similar thing where this is a completely, like, irredeemable game with incredibly generic mechanics that is just being sold on account of the TNA, and everybody is pretending like that's not the case. Here's the thing, legitimately, here's the thing. If they were marketing this game as Tits and Ass the Robot, I would not have as much of a problem with it, because that's exactly what you get with that game. But you go on the Steam page for that, and people still pretend like it's some great, like, platforming puzzle game, when it's not. Like, I've seen gameplay from that thing, and it's basically Portal without the portals, which is to say that it fucking sucks. And there's something about it being emblematic of this larger problem, where these crap games just get released on Steam over and over again for whatever reason, with no real regard to the actual quality of the game. And I think Haiti is, as we said, symbolic of just this larger issue. And
Absolutely.
I think that it's worth putting on the top 3, but I also understand not wanting to give that game any attention whatsoever, which is the same way I feel about Bad Rat Show. So
we can't think about it like
Yeah.
if it was exploitative, I would be like, yeah, let's not give this any attention, but it's not. It's a fucking shitty game that is all about, hey, look at this robot's ass. Witcher 3 is in this for some dumb reason, and then we updated it out because we suck at this. Like, I think that thing's irredeemable.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, what are you gonna say, Niall?
Can I propose a top 3 of Haiti, Wild Animal Racing, and Mighty Number 9? Does anyone have a problem with that?
That's pretty much what I was going to say. So,
Sure, because like a lot of these are, Niall, they're your fucking calls, like Bombshell and stuff. So if that's what you feel are the worst ones, I'm fine with that.
All right,
I said,
that's understandable. Yeah, Bombshell and Infinite Air, I don't think those are as bad as a lot of these games, and I think compared to the rest of them, Bad Rats is one thing, but I feel like if we're going to talk about like basically crimes against the gaming community this year, Wild Animal Racing, Haiti, and Mighty Number 9 are all 3 very emblematic of problems in the gaming industry. Like, Mighty Number 9 is like the problem of people banking too much on nostalgia and people taking advantage of that. Wild Animal Racing is people just grabbing Unity assets and shitting out something, and Haiti is sexism and people pretending that it's not there and just being fucking idiots about it. Like, I think those 3 games are very emblematic of big problems that happened this year, and I think those are all worthy of this.
John, I feel like
what wins?
John,
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Ryan?
I was gonna say, I feel like you just listed out like the 7 deadly sins right there. like this is the fucking 7 remake. Like, Morgan Freeman's gonna walk in my room and be like, "No, you can't play fucking Pokemon Go. It's the 7th deadly sin," and Kevin Spacey will win. Anyway,
what's in the Pokemon box?
Please,
what's in the Pokemon box?
Please, for
Michael, let us live,
sake,
please.
Sorry,
Holy
it was
shit.
funny. Relax. Okay.
And God forbid we have humor on a Game of the Year podcast.
All right. So, of these 3 games, if we're gonna say the lowest quality game,
Is Wild Animal Racing.
it would be Wild Animal Racing by a long shot. But
But it's the worst game. It's not necessarily lowest quality.
yeah, like
Because
which of these games?
Here's the thing. I will go up to bat for Wild Animal Racing, as in defending it. That game, as shitty as it is, it accomplishes everything that it sets out to do, which is to be an intentionally shitty game made as a joke. And although
that's not a good thing, though.
Yeah, that's...
It's not a good thing, but if you're saying it's the worst game, you could say it's the only game on this list that succeeds in doing what it set out to do.
And that's terrible. Like,
Yeah,
it succeeds at
well,
being worse.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's like saying, this Limp Bizkit album isn't the worst album of the year because it's still it's new metal. Like, I mean, come on, like,
Chocolate starfish, hot dog flavored water. Let's
Wild
roll.
Animal Racing is an insult to games as a medium. Like, it is an insult to developers who spend time working hard on low budgets and put their entire life's work and savings and like everything they have into like creating something over years, and then see it just disappear on Steam amid like your Wild Animal Racings and your fucking Kim Jong-il simulators and your fucking whatever digital homicide game shits out like this week. Like, it is emblematic of everything that is like hurting developers that are actually like putting everything they can into it. It is the kind of game that long term is going to damage the industry. Because
Alright,
It is damaging. I think it's actively
It is.
ruining Steam. Steam is unusable if you want to look up games that aren't being advertised on the front page, like, or in their featured section. Then if you look in games of like by new releases or any other standard, you see all kinds of shit like Haiti and Wild Animal Racing.
Yeah,
I was going to I was going to make this same argument for Haiti to be the worst game, but you two are apparently passionate enough about this that I'm just going to step off and let you three figure out.
I mean,
I'm just gonna say, there is a semblance of playability to Haiti, and there is none of that in Wild Animal Racing.
Right.
Yeah.
Wild Animal Racing is like the kind of game that makes a Stardew Valley or an Undertale, one of these like small games that blows up, so much rarer. Like for every one of those, because of games like Wild Animal Racing, there are 200 that nobody will ever play.
So while I understand that, I kind of lean towards either Mighty Number 9 or Haiti, because I feel like Haiti only got, like, I remember Wild Animal Racing once I googled it, but I had completely kind of forgotten about it. Haiti I unfortunately remembered, because too many people wouldn't shut up about Haiti, because only because there was a robot lady with an ass and tits, and that was it. And like, at least Wild Animal Racing came about and then went away. Haiti was just a disease that you couldn't cure, and it's like to the point to where it's on this list. Mighty Number 9, like, Mighty Number 9, for everything that is wrong with Haiti and Wild Animal Racing in terms of like indie development and the people who take advantage of that, I think Mighty Number 9 is sort of the opposite end of the spectrum of people who take advantage of your memories of like mainstay games, the AAA games like Mega Man, and take advantage of it by taking your money via Kickstarter, and take advantage of it by continue to string you along. Like, for all the reasons people didn't like No Man's Sky's hype machine, Mighty Number 9 quietly sat there and did something not completely similar, but not dissimilar either, and then sold it to you, and then it was still bad.
Yeah, like, there's... Like, I mean, for what it's worth, it's not as big of a deal breaker as the argument for what happens on Steam, but for other games that are made by, like, the old developers of classic games, people are so wary of Kickstarters now. Like, Psychonauts 2, like I wouldn't say barely hit their goal, but, you know, people were begging for Psychonauts 2 for years, and then because of something like Mighty Number 9, there was a brief moment where people were like, wow, are we actually not going to get Psychonauts 2? Really?
That's a little different, because that was on Fig.
Well, yes,
but wasn't on Kickstarter. But I would also argue now against myself by saying Mighty Number 9 maybe isn't necessarily the developer's fault, because I bet they all went in thinking, let's make a good game. Whereas Wild Animal Racing and Haiti, I don't know if anyone thought that at some point.
Definitely not for Wild Animal Racing. I feel like with Haiti, I mean, they came to a point where they said, let's just let people look at boobs and butt. But they also at some point tried to come up with some kind of puzzles and platforming elements to that game, and they're fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But there was at least some kind of attempt in that game. And I feel like Wild Animal Racing is like basically like watching a turd fester. Like, that is that game.
Yeah. I feel like Haiti presents itself in a way that implies at some point this was not intended to be a train wreck or just a titty game. Like, it presents itself with a degree of seriousness, whereas Wild Animal Racing, I feel like, is kind of laughing in your face in a way.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I wonder if Haiti feels that way if they like took something from the Unity store and that was the basis of it, and they just like bumped up the sliders on the shitty robot lady model and then said, I don't know, here's the Witcher 3 cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I think we are all in agreement that the worst game of 2016 is Wild Animal Racing, with runners-up Mighty Number 9 and Haiti.
Congratulations!
Yay!
All right, folks.
You piece of shit.
Piece of shit games. All right.
Here we go.
All right, everybody.
Shadow box a little bit.
Yeah, let's... Okay. It's now time for us to list out our top 10 best games of 2016.
Yeah, thank you, Niall, for that, because I was about to ask why that was on this list, but
Christ.
Anyway,
Just
sorry, John.
How about we just do ourselves a favor and erase that now? Thank you.
Done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
See you,
All
Haiti.
Yeah, someone put Haiti
See
on
you
there
in hell.
as a little humor there. Okay, so I will read the nominees, and then we will get our write-ins, and then it'll be time. Okay. For Game of the Year, Stardew Valley, Valhalla, Doom, Superhot, Firewatch, Overwatch, Hyper Light Drifter, Zero Time Dilemma, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Dreamfall Chapters, Devil Daggers, Sorcery, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, Starbound, American Truck Simulator, Darkest Dungeon, Enter the Gungeon, Dark Souls 3, Uncharted 4, Hitman, Pokken Tournament, The Witness, Inside, Virginia, Dragon Quest Builders, Thumper, Shadow Warrior 2, 1979 Revolution Black Friday, Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Orwell, Oxenfree, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Blue Revolver, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, Let It Die, Final Fantasy 15, Fury, Mafia 3, and Ratchet & Clank. Let us hear...
Alright, cool. Good list. It's in order and everything. Done. Wow. Out of the 40 minutes.
Alright, let's hear our write-ins, please.
Alright. Scott says, for Game of the Year, Scott only has one entry. Overwatch. I don't think there's another game this year that's nearly as large and as present as Overwatch has been. It's managed to attract casual and hardcore fans of team-based shooters under a single umbrella with the notion of just having fun. You can put on a nice podcast and just unwind, not caring about how you're playing. You can pick a healer like Mercy or Lucio if you're not that good at shooting people in video games, and you can still be viable. You can also play it on the highest level, get a real squad together, and try to take on competitive 3-on-3 death matches or the neat seasonal PvE modes. It's managed to stay relevant all throughout 2016, despite dropping in May. I don't see anything else on this list, even games I personally enjoy more than Overwatch, that deserve the title of Game of the Year.
Wow.
Okay. Now let's hear from Rose.
Alright, Rose has a few on here of differing lengths. So for best game, Rose says, starting off, Final Fantasy 15 is a really, really good game. It's Dragon's Dogma meets Deadly Premonition with twinks, and that's like, wow dude, you saw into my head. But really, it's an impressive game even devoid from its legacy. The world is full of beautiful environments and creatures, and all of it looks and feels good. The characters are fun, and their animations and demeanor all make them feel alive and real. I love this game, but I'm not going to push it for Game of the Year, because I feel it's a much more personal game for me than it is for anyone else. And then moving on, Overwatch is phenomenal. I said it on Day 2's podcast, but that game made me realize TF2 didn't have to be bad with its amazingly unique characters, sound design, and gameplay. It deserves a spot on this list, and I think that's inarguable. Okay, next one. Doom was good. Doom made Doom good again. And those all have 4 exclamation points after them. We all loved it. We put 3 different moments from that game onto our best moment list, and that speaks volumes for the quality alone. It's a sublime FPS, and I can definitely see myself picking it up to replay someday, just like Doom 2. Inside is interesting, but I think I'm the only one who played it. It's full of interesting puzzles and a fascinating ending sequence that's full of really great intrigue and just sheer spectacle. Pokemon Sun and Moon is both a return to form for Pokemon and a fantastic example of an old dog still being able to, or possibly forced to, learn new tricks. It absolutely deserves to be on this list. Think of Litten, Popplio, Rowlet, Mimikyu, Beware, all of our friends. Do it for them. Dark Souls 3 could definitely be argued. Bloodborne might be better, but Dark Souls 3 easily had some of the series' most consistently good bosses. Fighting the Soul of Cinder was incredible for me. From the music to the fight itself, it was a perfect send-off to a phenomenal series. And then finally, y'all are gonna talk the hell out of Valhalla. You can fight that battle for me. Good luck, boys. Sending my love. XOXO.
Thank you.
Yep.
Alright, so I will be making the first cut. Alright. Sorry, I had to get that evil laugh out of my system there.
Sure.
Okay. Let us see here. I think the first cut I will make is Zero Time Dilemma.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Niall, that was kind of one of the games that you were bringing up, and you also kind of sounded like you weren't so hot on it that you would stick up for it that much. So
I think
feel
there's games I would rather fight for than Zero Time Dilemma. So I'm
Absolutely.
okay.
Okay. Well, now it's your turn, Niall.
Well, there's a couple of games on this list that are just straight up bad games, in my opinion. So I'm gonna cut one of them, and that's Mafia 3.
Wow.
So I put this on here simply because I wanted to hear, like, I wanted you to explain to me, like, why it's actually bad. Because I've heard you talk about it, and I read your review, of course, and I know you on a previous Game of the Year podcast, you seemed to somewhat enjoy it. And so I figured it at least deserved a chance, maybe getting the 11th spot. So, like, what makes it, like, bad? Because the writing sounds cool, and I like the idea of the documentary style, even if it's in a piss-poor open world. Like, what makes it bad?
The open world, for a start, is, like, terrible. It's a PS2 open world, basically. There's nothing happening. There's no landmarks. There's no dynamic events. There's no people around on the streets. Like, it's just an empty facsimile of New Orleans, which is kind of, like, unforgivable because that is a city that is, like, known for its vibrancy and its life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as well as that, like, there's like 2 missions in that whole game, and they're not great missions, and you just repeat them over and 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 over, and you get the point for like 25 hours, and it's so dull and it's so boring, and it's just like, it is a game that you are looking at your watch and you're just like, when is this going to be over? Like, can I stop playing now? Like, if I hadn't had to review that game, I would have, like, uninstalled it after 6 hours. It is a 25 to 30 hour long game that runs out of ideas after 4. Like, it is.
Do you think it would have been better if it wasn't, like, open world? If they just presented, like, that story in a 6-hour regular shooter?
Absolutely. Like, if they had presented that game as a focused narrative with, like, well thought out set pieces and, like, at least some variety in what you do, then it could have been something really special. But instead it's just like, okay, go here and kill this guy, and then go here and intimidate this guy, now do it again, now do it again, now do it again, now do it again, do it again, do it again.
That's a shame. That's a real shame, because, like, I was pretty excited for that game.
Yeah. And
I wanted it, and I know a lot of people are still, like, positive about it. I think mostly because of the writing, but fuck.
The writing is good, but the game does not hold it up.
Yeah.
I would rather watch Mafia 3 as a movie than play it as a game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Michael, your turn.
Blue Revolver.
Oh, you got me good.
That's no. Sorry.
Okay.
That's why we have personal lists.
I know, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It sounds cool, but
yeah.
See ya.
It's really high on my personal list, but I feel like Blue Revolver is this year's dive kick, where I'm the only person who really got into it. I mean, I'm the only person who played this game on the site, period.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been way more of a climb, but I don't know. It's cool. You know, I'm glad that I was able to even talk about that game, period.
Yeah.
because it is very cool. But yeah, I all right. Ryan, your turn.
Hey, Michael, quick question. How bad are you gonna fight me when I cut Starbound off this list?
Not that badly.
Alright, then just take it off.
Alright.
Because you're the only person who played that game.
It's a great game. Like, it's Terraria, but with, like, a ton of different ideas, and you have your own ship that you can build and, like, expand and customize, and you go to different planets, and some of those planets are just trading planets where you just hang out with aliens and restaurants. That game has, like, instruments in it, not just weapons, so you can just go and play your instrument with your buddies on a random planet. Like, there are platforming challenges and dungeons and secret labs you find underground. That game's incredible.
Yeah.
But I didn't play it much this year. I played it mostly like years ago. So
Yeah.
like I just don't think on this list it'll stand.
Okay.
No.
There's something I wanted to cut. Hang on. What was it? Shit. Did any of us play Ratchet and Clank?
I thought you did.
No, I wanted to, but I didn't.
I would have swore on one of these Game of the Year episodes you said that game wasn't that bad.
I think that was Rose.
Okay.
No. I said that because I had heard it wasn't that bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's just I don't know. That game's like that was something that I did want to play, but
Then
I didn't get around to it.
Cut something else then.
Okay, fair enough. All right. American Truck Simulator is not one of the 10 best games of the year.
Listen,
Kyle would beg to disagree.
Yeah.
I don't know who this Kyle is, but this game is good, and you're fucking wrong. But it's not gonna land on this list.
All right. Okay.
I have a friend of mine who would like to speak to you.
Niall, if you would.
Listen, Michael, John. I love Agumon as much as anyone, but Digimon is not really that great a game.
All right. I mean, it's for what it is. It's a good game, but
It's a good Digimon game.
Yeah.
And that caveat, that qualifier, I think disqualifies it from this list. It's, I think anyone who's like anyone who's a fan of Digimon will really like that game. Anyone else will play that. This is just all right. Whatever.
Anyone else will be like, I probably should have just picked up Shin Megami Tensei 3 on PS3.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I should have waited for Persona 5.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's Michael's turn.
Over what? No.
Okay. Make your case. I'm
listening.
You out.
There's a lot of like potential in some of these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 3.
I'm on board with this. I am on
Yeah,
board with this.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, Michael. You say that like it's about to start some huge row. I think that game may be the best Dark Souls game, but I think in terms of the other games that are on this list, there are things that are more unique and better that deserve to be in the top 10.
There are more unique and better Dark Souls games. It's called Bloodborne.
Yeah, like it's.
I mean,
I like Dark Souls 3 better than I liked Bloodborne, but that's personal preference.
I'm not saying that Dark Souls 3 is bad in any way.
Neither am I.
I played 1 and 2, and I enjoyed them for what they were, and I'm hearing everyone talk about Bloodborne and 3, I want to go and play them, but it's a Dark Souls game.
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to play Dark Souls, play 1 and then play 3, but,
yeah.
I mean...
The idea that 3 is sort of... Like, the only people who freak out about 3 are people who love the series as a whole, because it makes so many references to 1. I feel like as a standalone game, as all of these kind of have to be taken as a standalone game, it is a Dark Souls game. It just happens to have a 3 next to it.
Two words.
I think, here's the thing,
words.
Hold on, okay.
Diminishing
John.
returns.
Here's the thing, you say that, but I think Dark Souls 3, out of all the Dark Souls games, has the best combat mechanics, like even outside of the 1 references. But the point is, and I won't belabor this, is that I was prepared to let this go off the top 10 list when I stepped into this fucking arena, and the fact that Scott didn't even make an argument for it to be anywhere in the top 10, like, I think we just gotta let this one go. I mean, I love that game. I think it's good, but I don't think it can be on the top 10 list with a lot of this other stuff that's in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think as far as games aimed at young children go, it's pretty good, but I mean, it doesn't really hold water. With some of the rest of
that's
these.
sure,
it's so
it
good.
it doesn't hang.
Doesn't hang. Good
Yeah.
game for
Shit.
kids and babies, but yeah, that's it.
That's
Yeah.
next year we'll have that category when
Yeah.
Dark Souls 4 comes out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Alright, Ryan, your move.
Okay, I'm going to set my sights on Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna put up a fight for that.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
okay. It's not as good as Human Revolution, though, and it should be. So,
Yeah.
It's a Deus Ex game.
yep.
Okay.
Adam Jensen.
Every time someone says his name, I kind of forget that that's his name, so it just sounds like a fucking generic man's name. Adam Jensen. Like, what? All right.
Adam Johnson.
Are you
mean-
just saying pronouns? Like, cool.
I mean, now that I think of it, we really should have had him in worst character because he's such like a 2009 like tough guy.
Yes.
Like he's so bad with his
Gruff
fucking
voice.
his
Fucking, yeah.
his sunglasses that come out of his fucking head. Like
Ugh.
No, that's so good. That's so
He's,
good.
he's why whenever I see or hear about something that's cyberpunk, I am apprehensive because inevitably he's waiting around the corner.
God. Alright, my turn. Devil Daggers.
Yeah. See, Michael, is that you making those noises, or is it
Yeah,
Niall?
that's me.
Do you want to go to bat for this? Because I do think this is a good game, but there is something else that was on my personal list that I plan to fight much harder for than fucking Devil Daggers.
Pick your
So-
battles.
I think it's a good game. I think this is a solid game. I don't
Yes.
like. I don't think there like you can make the arguments of like well I didn't play it for 20 hours and that's fine, but that game is intense.
Yes.
It is it like. I mean, we can say it now. Doom will probably make the top 10. I think Devil Daggers accomplishes things that Doom tried to do way back in Doom 3 and does it much better with much more simple mechanics of just, here is a dark room.
Yeah.
You will shoot at these things. They will make noises. They are grotesque looking. How long can you last? Go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I haven't tried it out since they added the top-down replay mechanic, but like that game is just it. You remember how we talked about Wild Animal Racing? How Ryan, you said that game sets out what it wants to do and accomplishes it.
Yes.
Devil Daggers sets out what it wants to do and accomplishes it 100%. There is
Yes.
no like No Man's Sky. We tried, and most of it's there. Like, no, they said this is the game we want to make. This is the style we want to have with it. Done. Here you go, and it was great.
Yeah.
I think it should stay on for at least a little bit longer until the list kind of forms a little bit better.
Okay.
Alright, that's fair. Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
sure.
That game somehow eventually accomplished interesting things, but it's clear that their focus is still on multiplayer, which is still Battlefield multiplayer and bad. I like Battlefield multiplayer was good 15 years ago, or was great 15 years ago, was good 10 years ago. It is now old and archaic in very specific ways that, for me, makes it frustrating to play. And then some of the campaign is really interesting and emotional, and then some of the campaign is like if you described to a director what war was in an elevator, and then he went and made a movie. Like, it's devoid of emotion and devoid of reality, even if it is based in reality. It feels like you're watching a comic book hero movie instead of gruesome, disgusting war. And the fact that it does that is kind of bad, like horrendously bad. And I
Okay,
think
yeah.
they had the chance here. This could have been a very interesting game, but they said, nah, fuck it. Mountain Dew!
Alright. It's
Niall.
Niall next. Yes, Niall, your turn.
So, there's one I'm gonna cut here, and it's gonna hurt me so much to cut it, but as much as I love it, and like I couldn't even justify putting this in my own top 5 as much as I love it, I think the writing in Mirror's Edge Catalyst is just so bad that as much as I love playing that game, as much as I love the art direction, I can't justify it being on a top 10 list, and I'm gonna rip the band-aid off before anyone else gets a chance to, because I feel it coming.
Sure.
So
Wow. Just watch someone commit seppuku.
I'm
Holy
cutting
shit.
myself open right now, and
Yeah, there's been a lot of that these last 2 days. But,
I just can't take the hurt of having someone else do it. It's like, you know, I have
Honestly,
to
like
yellow shit,
putting
yeah.
down a dog, yeah.
Some of these other ones, like I'm thinking about cutting, it's like, oh, that'll hurt this, that'll hurt John, that'll hurt Niall. I didn't even look at that one and think, I should cut that one and kill Niall in his sleep. It was just, I didn't even think about that yet.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael went straight for the fucking jugular for me almost from the start with Blue Revolver. He was like,
You were like stretching your neck and showing it to me with Blue Revolver. What are you talking about?
I know. Still. All right, so let's Michael and Ryan, you two do it, and then I will read off what we have left.
All right, Ryan, let's do it.
I think we should do at least one more round after
No,
this, because
I-
we still got a lot on this list.
I'm just gonna read what we have left, just so people
Okay.
remember.
All right.
So, Michael, your turn.
Well, if we're all committing ritualistic suicide, sorcery.
Really?
Really?
Oh, I mean, I didn't know I had any support with this game.
I would go to bat with you for that game.
I could see sorcery being around that like 9 to 15 range. So
Yeah,
Alright.
I would- don't not sorcery.
I'd
yet,
keep
please.
it on there for a little while longer.
I'm glad
at
I
least.
didn't unsheath my sword yet.
Yeah.
Your hand's like halfway up the handle, and they're like, "No, wait!"
What? I thought we were all doing it.
All right.
Thumper.
Please, Michael.
okay, I like Thumper a lot. I like the way it looks. It is an intense experience, but I think for this site, I think we can let it go.
Okay.
I want to play it, but I like when I first heard about it and saw it, I wanted to play it, and then the more I saw of it, my interest level dropped a little. And
Sure.
I think it's interesting at what it does, where kind of the timing mechanics and the music also eventually like turns into attacking the boss. I think that's really neat, but it looks a little one note. It just
Okay.
it looks it doesn't look like it goes farther than that, and I think that's neat, but I don't know.
Ryan, your turn.
I mean, we can definitely take The Witness off this list, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a neat game. I think what it does is interesting. I don't think there is enough like straight up puzzle games anymore, especially ones that play with the idea of narrative and setting and just how you feel in a space, and then uses all that within the puzzles. I think all that's neat, but it's not top 10 material.
Sure.
All right. Let me just real quick read what we have left, and then we can keep cutting. All right. We have Stardew Valley, Valhalla, Doom, Superhot, Firewatch, Overwatch, Hyper Light Drifter, Dreamfall Chapters, Devil Daggers, Sorcery, Darkest Dungeon, Enter the Gungeon, Uncharted 4, Hitman, Pokken Tournament, Inside, Virginia, Dragon Quest Builders, Shadow Warrior 2, 1979 Revolution Black Friday, Titanfall 2, Gears of War 4, Orwell, Oxenfree, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Let It Die, Final Fantasy 15, and Fury. Alright, I'll make another cut here. Shadow Warrior 2.
Yeah, I love that game. I think, like, you guys know I don't like first-person shooters. You know, like, I have a
Sure.
large distaste for the genre as a whole. I think I think Shadow Warrior 2 is every bit as good as Doom from a gameplay standpoint. But, man, that writing is so bad. so bad that I would be okay with it going. As much as I love playing that game, as great as it is, listening to the Touch and other Stan Bush songs that are on that fucking thing while you're darting around chopping up giant monsters, like, I'm okay with it going.
Okay.
Wang alert.
Wang alert.
Wang
The
alert.
Wang Cave.
I'm thinking of terrible things. Let's move on.
That's your home base in it, the Wang Cave. That'll give you an insight into the level of writing.
Okay. Please, I beg you. Okay, Niall, your turn.
See, a lot of the games that are left are games that are like on the periphery for me of like my top 10, so it's tough now, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Pokken.
Alright,
Yeah.
so Pokken Tournament is the best fighting game that came out this year. It has just immensely great controls. Every character has layers upon layers of every bit of that game is accessible but deep. Like, you can spend hours just digging into all the different ways that you can control any of those characters. It's almost two fighting games in one, in the sense that it's basically a completely different game when you're in the field mode and when you're close up. The arcade mode is really well done and very well paced. Every character is fun and full of personality. It's got great music. It's got a great tone and atmosphere to it. And the training mode is, and I say this with no amount of hyperbole, it has the best training mode in any fighting game ever. Straight up. So, I don't know. I think that Pokken should stick around because it's top notch. It is the best. In a year that was filled with fighting games, like a new Street Fighter came out this year, a new King of Fighters came out this year. Pokken Tournament is the best fighting game that came out this year.
All right.
Looking at this list, I don't think it hangs. We can keep it for now, but
I'll cut something else.
Alright.
But for the record, you're wrong. Nitro Plus Blasters.
Melty Blood.
I'll hear Melty. No.
Okay, I'm gonna cut one that I nominated again. Then I'm gonna cut 1979 Revolution, which, like I said, really good game, but it does feel a little bit too comic booky to really nail what it's going for.
It's a shame. I wish more games would take on controversial or historical subjects like that and make them entertaining, but not comic book entertaining.
Alright, Michael, your turn.
Gears of War 4.
Okay.
All right.
It's a Gears game, and it does it really well. And I think after Gears 3, if you ignore Gears Judgment, they have been on an upward swing in quality. But it's not dramatic.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the same thing we were talking about with Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's good for that series.
Yeah,
So,
compared to Doom, let's say, it just doesn't hang, doesn't stand up.
Okay. Ryan, your turn.
Okay, I've got two potential things that I could cut. One of them is something that I think I might have nominated, but for the interest of not throwing myself on the fire just yet, I'll go for something else.
Okay.
Fury.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Fury is a solid game, but I think that there are far better games than it.
okay.
Alright, it's my turn to cut one.
Cut the cheese, you mean?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not the only one who thought that.
Okay, I'm gonna do something fucked up here. Based on our arguments for Dark Souls 3, and based on how we as a site would probably feel about it, I'm gonna cut Uncharted 4.
Sure.
That game is a very, very good game. It is the best Uncharted game. But I feel like this year, how many great games came out, I think it definitely pales in comparison to some other games. And also, I'm the only person who played it on the site, so, whatever.
It seemed like one of those Uncharted games that there was a lot of excitement for it coming up, and then it came out and a lot of people really liked it, and then vanished.
Yeah.
Which I feel like other Uncharted games, even 3, didn't really do. I feel like people still kind of talked about 3 throughout the year, whereas Uncharted, 4, it was just like, yeah, that came out.
Which, honestly, is very confusing because it's way better than 3. Like, by
Yeah,
leaps
3
and bounds.
Yeah, 3 was a lull from what I remember people saying.
Like, 4 has some of the best character work in that series, bar none. But, yeah, I just feel like it won't crack the 10, so I'm just gonna do that. So, Niall, your turn.
Okay. I feel like this one might be a little tough to get off the list at this point, but I'm going to try anyway. I played this game, I liked it a lot while I was playing it, and within literally a day or two I had forgotten it even existed. And that game is Super Hot.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I agree. Remembering what you told us, John, that sounds really cool with the ending, like the Matrix kind of turning in on itself. That sounds great, and
I had totally forgotten it.
Yeah, I played an hour of Super Hot, and about an hour in, I thought, this is still interesting and neat, and I think more people should look at it, and I bet more people, other than me, would probably play it all the way, but about an hour in, I thought, I'm done. I'm done getting kind of suddenly shot in the back. I'm done, a bullet missing and not quite understanding why.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I said my piece about Super Hot a couple days ago, so...
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. Michael?
We're almost getting down to it.
Yeah, we are.
But there's still a little bit to cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Let It Die.
I agree.
Maybe we should just...
Let It Die?
Yeah. Or cut it from this list.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's what I played of it was really fun, but I don't think I'll be talking or thinking about it a couple weeks from now.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. All right.
Ryan? Let me see. Did any of y'all play Hyper Light Drifter?
Yes.
Okay.
I think... I'll be honest, I think that game's on this list.
Really?
I don't.
You don't? Alright, well...
I think there's a lot of other games that are stronger than it. I think it has neat ideas, but to me, and I know Scott really likes that game a lot, to me that game just comes across as indie game, and that's it. And I'm not saying that anything it does is bad. It just seems like another one of those indie games that's top down and pixelated and has good music and looks good and plays well, and okay, it just doesn't really stand out to me.
Sure. So are y'all okay with cutting that, or does anybody else want to go up to bat for this? Because I feel like when the one person in the Skype call who has played that game says something like that, and the only other person who played it did not write any sort of defense for it, that feels kind of like fish in a barrel for me. And although the visuals of that game were great and such, I don't know enough about that game to say whether or not it should be on the top 10 or not.
That's fair. Okay.
It's a strong 11.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, how many games do we have left here? Let's count.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 games.
We still need to do one more round,
yeah? Let's do one more round. Okay. Final Fantasy 15. I think I think Rose's argument is really good, but if you take into consideration the fact that they are currently working on multiple patches to make that game up to par that people are talking about certain chapters of that game as if it's like ripping off a Band-Aid to play them, and just all these other bugs and problems, and that the story doesn't make sense unless you watched a movie, an anime, and like some other short series. Like, that's kind of unacceptable, and I don't really feel comfortable having that on a top 10 best games of this year list.
I don't think it's as broken as you're making it sound like, but yeah, I have, like, the story being a mess is kind of a shame. I don't know, like, every time I see someone talking about that game, it's just positive and fun and light, and
sure,
that seems like a game, like, compared to others, like Watch Dogs 2 or Mafia 3, well, less so with Mafia 3 now, but, like, compared to some of these other games that I haven't touched yet, that's one of them that it's high on my list. I want to play it, because it just seems like fun. It just seems like, yeah, okay, this chapter sucks, but I get to fucking roll around, eat some sushi, and take photos of it, and then, like, upgrade my flying car, and listen to Final Fantasy IV music, or 2 music, depending on when you played it. Like, fucking, that sounds great.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I think that game is really cool from, like, there is a lot of stuff in that game that's really cool, but I just don't want to ignore the problems with it. You know,
sure.
I think that's unfair.
Yeah, sure.
Alright,
Rose is gonna kill you.
Yeah, you know what, I'll take it, you know. Niall?
So, as much as I really like this game, and as much as I feel like story-based games, oftentimes your choices that you make are just basically, like, go down this way or this way, but they ultimately are going to come to the same point. I feel like Dreamfall Chapters gives weight to your decisions in a way that most games of its type don't. But as much as I really enjoy that game, as great as Shitbot is, I feel like when I look at the rest of these games, I can't make much of an argument for it against most of these other ones, so I'm gonna cut it.
Okay. Michael?
Jesus, this list is good.
Yes, it is.
It could be better, though.
Yeah, like getting rid of Pokken already.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Alright.
Sorry, John.
Again, I said my piece, but okay. If that's not going to sway y'all, then that's fine.
Yeah, it sounds neat. I love Pokemon. I love fighting games. I don't want to play that game.
Alright. Alright, Ryan.
I have two, and I think one of them will make someone in the Skype call very upset. The other one is something that none of us here have played.
I think maybe you should just go for the one that none of us have played for now.
I was gonna say Cut Inside, unless one of y'all wants to make an argument for it.
No.
I think only Rose played it. I've heard really good things, but
She sounded very wishy-washy about it anyway.
I mean, I can say her argument. She said it's full of interesting puzzles and a fascinating ending sequence that's full of really great intrigue and just sheer spectacle. That does not sound like the kind of argument that would get something into a top 10 list. That sounds like it was cool and worth playing, but maybe not one of the 10 best games of the year. Like, interesting does not necessarily qualify best, if you will.
Yeah.
So can I make a suggestion here that Stardew Valley, Valhalla, Doom, and Hitman are all on this list?
Let's read out what's left.
Okay.
And Overwatch.
Okay.
Let's read out what's left first.
Okay. What is left is Stardew Valley, Valhalla, Doom, Firewatch, Overwatch, Devil Daggers, Sorcery, Darkest Dungeon, Enter the Gungeon, Hitman, Virginia, Dragon Quest Builders, Titanfall 2, Orwell, Oxenfree, Pokemon Sun and Moon.
And yes, I think we all agree with Niall.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley, Valhalla, Doom, Overwatch, and Hitman are in the top 10 list somewhere.
All right. So
Yes.
how many is that?
So
1, 2,
we have
4,
That's
10
5.
games with 5
we
spots
need to cut
left.
5 more games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me run these by. Let me run some by you. Okay.
How about we just do another round and then cut one more as a group?
Yes.
All right, that sounds good. Okay.
So it's just 5.
All right. Virginia.
All right. I think that game has a great score. I think it's got a good story, good art design, but I feel like it's the most like polygon game ever made. Like it feels like somebody sat down and was like, "How do we make a game that Polygon will make Game of the Year?" Like that feels like Virginia to me.
100 minutes of Virginia gameplay footage.
That's about
Don't
the
give
whole
them any
game.
ideas.
300 views.
Okay. Okay, Niall.
Okay, Ryan, how married to the idea of Enter the Gungeon being on this list are you?
I'm not. You can cut it.
was
I will
easy.
I will go to bat for Darkest Dungeon, but I think Enter the Gungeon at this point you can cut it off the list. So
I was going
I
to
think
cut one
Enter-
of them, so
yeah,
I think Enter the Gungeon is really neat.
yeah, it's a good
I
game.
don't-
sure.
I don't think it hangs, because
No.
at some point it runs into the problem of it's a roguelike.
Yeah,
And like what it does within that realm is fun, but it just ends up being like it's a roguelike and these guns
Yeah.
are cool.
it's like what you said about Hyperlife Drifter. Enter the Gungeon is another kind of like top-down pixelated, like randomized roguelike, but it is the best one of those that has come out, like, in memory. Like, it's better than Nuclear Throne. I think it's better than Binding of Isaac in a way, but I don't think that it'll, with some of the other stuff on this list, that it'll make it onto a top 10. So,
All right, Michael, your turn.
There's a really easy one I think I could go for, but I'm gonna go for one that I just don't think has a site consensus to make it in these last 5 spots.
Okay.
Firewatch.
I think Firewatch is maybe a game that we should leave on for now. I think that is.
Well, there's only like what's left is.
I mean, there,
I think all the arguments that we have to make now for anything we defend is arguing that it's on this list.
sure. I mean, there is one game that I would argue for above it, but if nobody else is really going to fight for it,
I mean, I can switch to my other game I was going to cut.
What
And
was
we
that
can-
cut?
Orwell.
well, then you should cut Firewatch.
ooh,
slipped in the back.
ruthless. Fuck.
Does anyone want to? I know Scott really liked Firewatch, and I was unable. I think I described this on the other day. I was unable to get very far into it. But I know we have some. I know John, you didn't like it very much.
I didn't play it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I know that generally opinions are a little divided on that game, but I didn't get to play it, so I can't really comment.
All right.
All right. See you, Firewatch.
Okay. Ryan.
Hey, how many do we have left here?
5
One-
spots left, and there should be
7.
what 7?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how I feel about Dragon Quest Builders. John and Michael, y'all played that, right? Yeah.
I mean, I played the demo. Michael played the full game, but that game is very good. But I will hear an argument for it not staying. But I will also, of course, hear an argument for I will hear Michael because Michael really loves that game.
I don't have any argument for it not to stay. I just want to hear the argument for it to be in the top 10, basically.
So this is kind of what I wrote in my top 10 list because it's on there. When I played Minecraft, I played it before it was officially released, and I played it with friends. I played it by myself, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked Minecraft. And as the years went by, they kept updating it, but they would, we added cows, we added chickens, we added great. It wasn't really forming as a game. And a lot of the things they could have done with it, they never really did. They did other things. They added potions or whatever. With Dragon Quest Builders, I feel like somebody sat down and said, what did we all want Minecraft to be? And they made it. They made it so instead of like putting blocks up and saying that's my house, you put blocks up and then you put a bed in it and then you put like a chest in it, and it automatically says this is your house, or this is a home, this is a bedroom. If you put a workbench down and a chest in it and like a chair or something, it becomes your workshop. If you put a cooking spit and a chest and something else in it, it becomes a kitchen. And then from there, it's a crude kitchen. You now have to upgrade it by making something else with other ingredients that will then update it to a fancy kitchen. And you do all this in your town, and any NPCs you bring back to your town via the quests, they will just run around and do things for you. So there's a hunger meter like there is in Minecraft, and you have to eat constantly like there is in Minecraft. But if you go out and do like a quest and then you come back and you're like, oh shit, I haven't been paying attention to my hunger meter, your town NPCs have been running around and cooking and making things. And so you just go into your kitchen and you open up the chest like, oh, someone made me a bunch of mushroom soup. Great. I just eat that and then I can go to sleep. Like they combined all the things that should have been in Minecraft with all the things that are in Minecraft, and then added on the layer of questing, NPCs, like a lot of the sort of Dragon Quest elements. And they did that, and like when I heard about this initially, I thought it was going to be bad.
Yes.
None of that interested me, even though I like Minecraft. But in practice, it's light, it's fun. Minecraft can get very kind of repetitive, and not to say that Dragon Quest can't, and not to say it doesn't have problems, but it just was just so fun to do it all. It never felt like tasks. Like it never felt like work. It just felt like, especially once I started getting like into the groove of things. Like a lot of people, the problem they had with it was there's 4 or 5 chapters, and at the end of a chapter, they take everything away from you. You are in a new area. You don't have the initial town you had. A lot of your items are taken away. But what that does, especially from chapter 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, is it makes you reset everything, and now you have all the knowledge that you had from the first one in the second one. So even though they take everything away from you, you played the first one. Like you have your own instincts now within the game. And like part of the fun of Minecraft was trying to build something, realize you failed terribly, not wanting to like demolish it all, and then just starting over. And Dragon Quest just said, no, just start over. Here's chapter 2.
All right. So I realized that was a very long argument, but my question that I'm going to boil this down to for you is, do you think Dragon Quest Builders is a top 10 game on its own, or it's a top 10 game on virtue of it being a Minecraft replacement?
I think it's a top 10 game on its own.
Okay. Here's my second question. Between Devil Daggers and Sorcery, which one of those do you think deserves to be on the top 10?
It's not down to which games do I want to make down
okay, well,
left on here. It's down to Dragon Quest versus the rest of these games, all of them.
Sure, but
would you put Dragon Quest above the rest of these games then?
I would put Dragon Quest on this list.
Okay. So I have to cut something here, and I want to cut either Devil Daggers or Sorcery, which I both think are great games.
If I were you, I would cut Devil Daggers.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think Devil Daggers is a really good game, but it's also short and simplistic.
Yes, and I said that just thanks to your impassioned defense of it earlier, but I think at this point, we can go ahead and knock that off.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that leaves us with one more.
We need to cut one more game. Hang on. Let me read what we have left. What we are going to argue over: Sorcery, Darkest Dungeon, Dragon Quest Builders, Titanfall 2, Orwell, Oxenfree, and Pokemon.
I think if it was me cutting, I would say Titanfall.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played Titanfall, but just based on what everyone said about Titanfall, I think that game is really strong. I think that campaign is top notch. The multiplayer is like very
still
well
good.
Designed and still very good. Yeah,
I know it's on Scott's top 10 list.
Yeah, I just feel like Titanfall didn't wow me to the level that Doom or even Shadow Warrior did. I feel like it was a distant third from the first-person shooters that I enjoyed this year, personally.
I think it takes the Call of Duty formula, it adds its maneuverability, it makes that a part of the campaign, it makes it, and it doesn't just do it with the time travel stuff. There is a part where you get an electricity gun.
Yeah.
And you have to like jump at something, aim the gun at a specific point, and that'll like start a fan or stop a fan so that you can complete the rest of your jumps. And it's never like I would fail at a spot or two, but I wouldn't like die. I would like there's one where you have to go behind different walls.
Yeah.
And if you don't, the fan will push you back. And I failed like once or twice, but it never got frustrating. It just was like, I'm not doing that. I didn't do this correctly. Like I never felt like, this is just shit because I like maybe they didn't tighten this up or nobody who designed this game, realizes this is hard the first time you do it. It just felt like, I failed that. What did I do wrong? I'll try it again. I never felt like I failed more than 2 or 3 times because I eventually, it taught me how to play. It taught me how to run around. And I think that reinforces the multiplayer because if you run around like Call of Duty, you're going to get shot. But if you're jumping up on walls and sliding under things, which the multiplayer levels are totally designed to do, you will have a better chance at surviving and be better at that game. I think that is a marriage between campaign and multiplayer that even Doom, and I don't get me wrong, I'm not bad-mouthing Doom, but Doom did not do that. Like those are very clearly 2 different separate things that are designed and made differently separately. Titanfall 2 that is one big package, if you know what I mean.
Sure. I just feel like for me the last game to cut here is either Titanfall or Darkest Dungeon or Sorcery if you're that married to Dragon Quest. Like I feel like those 3 games are the ones that are hanging on for me. But
I am more open to cut Sorcery.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only 2 things left on this list that I was going to go to bat for would be Sorcery or Darkest Dungeon. And between those 2, I think Darkest Dungeon is the better game. That game is fantastic.
I'll give my impassioned I like Sorcery speech.
Uh-huh.
But I think it should be cut. Like that game is unique, and that game does some things very well. I think it establishes a narrative and establishes unique mechanics. Like in the 3rd one, you have to adjust towers that reveal like the map is like a mirage essentially. And when you adjust these towers, it will part the mirage. So there's this cone that comes out of this tower that you manipulate on the map. So if there is a bridge that is out, you turn the tower over onto the bridge. Now you can cross that bridge and then go to the next tower, and it's essentially a puzzle, but on map level. And I think that game should be experienced, but it's a shame that it came out this year because I think there are better games than it.
Yeah,
it is very close.
I agree with what you're saying, Michael. My only problem with Sorcery, and that may just be me, is like since the text of that game is taken from those previously published books, and I'm not saying the narrative isn't good because it is, it's hard for me to parse that out as being its own unique thing when it's so firmly based in something that was previously released. I don't want to say
is it directly taken or
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, all the text and the illustrations in that game are taken from these series of adventure books. And, like, I love Sorcery. I think it's fantastic. I agree with you in saying that people should play that game. But aside from presenting this older stuff in a new context, I don't know how hard I would argue for it to be in the top 10. And I mean
it provides it in a context of a video game, which,
yes,
like, you could argue maybe Choose Your Own Adventure books kind of have those elements, and I've totally played one with an RPG element with a character sheet and whatnot. But and I think that's impressive that they did that, and I think that's part of the reason it struck a chord with me so hard.
Absolutely.
But it's not even that it takes it from the books. I think it's just it's also a mobile game, and I think it's initially developed for mobile, and that kind of was that's not a negative necessarily, but that kind of shines through a little. Like if they had made it just for PC, maybe it would have been something would have been different. But I don't know. I just don't think it's. I don't think it hangs.
Well, Okay, so we actually have 11 now. So
Oh,
I'm gonna.
fuck.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
I'm
Christ.
gonna say we cut Oxenfree, and then I have a top 10 tentatively made up that we can sort of rearrange from there.
Okay.
You think
I'm
so?
fine with that.
Okay.
So are we okay with cutting
should-
Oxenfree then?
Okay.
Would you,
You-
do
you-
Oxenfree or Orwell? Because I
Orwell.
know Rose really liked Oxenfree.
I did too, but I loved Orwell.
Okay.
Would you hang on just a second? Make your case for Orwell.
Okay, I think Orwell is, for a game that is so simple in terms of its mechanics, where you are basically reading chat logs and websites and attempting to uncover a terrorist plot through that. I think the writing in that game is impeccable. I think the level of voice that they give to each of the individual characters is tremendous. Like, everyone feels like distinct people with distinct personalities, despite the fact that, you're not listening to voice actors, you're not, seeing these characters move around or anything. You are just piecing together this mystery based on what these people have to say about themselves and each other. And I feel like Orwell does things and says things about the nature of the internet and social media and surveillance that has become, I think, oddly prescient in the wake of certain things in the past couple of months. I think I said this for one of the other categories. I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but I think Orwell is the best horror game that I've played in a long time, in a really strange way. Like, it is a game that makes you uncomfortable, but not... It's not so much a game that makes you uncomfortable in a way that, like, oh, there are monsters out to get you. It's a game that's like, oh, wait, you're maybe the monster, or maybe somebody else thinks you're the monster, I feel like Orwell just... I feel like what it's got to say and the way it presents itself is above and beyond Oxenfree. As much as I like Oxenfree, I just, I would have to go with Orwell every single time.
Okay. Alright, so real quick, this is out of order, but here are our top 10 games of the year. Stardew Valley, Valhalla, Doom, Overwatch, Darkest Dungeon, Hitman, Dragon Quest Builders, Titanfall 2, and Pokemon Sun and Moon.
And Orwell.
And did I not say Orwell?
No, you skipped it.
And Orwell, I apologize. I'm sorry.
Subliminal.
You literally
Okay.
just talked about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I will paste in this tentative list and I will explain my reasonings for why I picked the game at number 1 that I think...
Okay.
Because I'm not sure it's the game that everyone would think at number 1, but here it is.
Okay.
So, my tentative
Dragon
list...
Quest Builders,
My-
number 1.
My tentative list from 10 to 1 is 10 is Orwell, 9 is Dragon Quest Builders, 8 is Darkest Dungeon, 7 is Titanfall, 6 is Pokemon, 5 is Stardew Valley, 4 is Hitman, 3 is Overwatch, 2 is Valhalla, and 1 is Doom. And the reason I put Doom at number 1 is because I think, site-wide as a consensus, it is the one game I think we could all be okay with winning. Like, I think there's at least one of us here who wouldn't be okay with Valhalla winning. I would not be okay with Overwatch winning. I did not like the brief amount of time I spent with that game. I don't think John would be particularly happy about Stardew Valley winning. I feel like, personally, this list isn't what I would feel is the top 10, but I think it is the one that site-wide we could all be happiest with, personally.
All right.
That's noble, but I'm just gonna say real quick, Valhalla was the best game that came out this year. So...
I think so too. But like I said, I think everyone could be like, yeah, Doom was really, really fucking good.
Yeah, let's
start this. I think we should start from the bottom. I think we should go from 10 to 1 before we get into the top 5 fight, which will be its own thing.
All right.
I don't think Stardew Valley is a top 5 game.
Really?
I think all of us had a lot of fun with it and spent a lot of time with it.
Except me.
Except for John. But I just don't like. I don't want to go back to it. Like,
Sure.
I feel like it almost has the Animal Crossing problem, that when you go back to it, you're like, wait, what was I doing? Wait, everything's in disarray, and like I'm not 100% sure what I need to go back to, and I like as much fun and enjoyment as I derived from that game. A lot of that game and some of those entire days in that game were just like routine. And I was waiting for something to happen for a day or two in a row, like to the point where when I came back to it and I restarted my first year, I felt so much better because now I knew what I was doing, and I wasn't missing events like completely. Like I would miss game events that they would remind you to do because it's like, oh, I needed to collect like everything in my farm because it had sprouted. I needed to collect that and sell it, otherwise. That's the core tenet of the game. And then it was like, oh shit, it's, I went to bed because I'm just so wrapped up in doing the same thing every day and I missed the picnic at the beach. Fuck. Like, I'm not saying drop it all the way down to 10. I just don't think it sits in top 5.
Okay.
Would you maybe see Pokemon at number 5 then?
No, I would see Titanfall at number 5. What are you talking about? I would drop Pokemon and I would drop Stardew Valley down 1 and I would move Titanfall to 5.
I would not.
I think Titanfall is a very great game, but what they did with Pokemon this year was incredible. Like the fact, like they took this very like by the numbers series and they played around with the mechanics. They gave it not just a story. They gave it one of the best stories of the year. Not, of course, like there are games that have better stories than it, but like Pokemon's story was like legitimately touching. They made you care about a lot of characters. There were so many just super memorable moments, like fighting against Team Skull, becoming the first.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you arguing this to go higher or just not get overtaken?
For now, I am arguing it to not get overtaken, but we'll see how that goes.
I would argue that we switch Stardew Valley and Pokemon for the time being.
I would argue that we move Pokemon up to 5, Titanfall up to 6, and Stardew Valley to 7.
That sounds okay with me. Okay. Yeah, I can jive with that.
So Pokemon at 5.
Mm-hmm. Titanfall at 6 and Stardew Valley at 7.
Okay, I'll put Titanfall here.
I am fine with Darkest Dungeon being at 8. That seems about right for that game.
Okay.
Pace, and then
how are we feeling about Dragon Quest Builders at 9?
I would put it at 10, but that's just me.
I would put it at 10 too, but
that's fine.
So Orwell at 9, Dragon Quest Builders at 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you do that.
All right. I think we have our bottom 5 here, basically.
Yeah.
Y'all think?
I'd say so.
Michael, would you like to make any kind of argument against Titanfall 2 staying down there, or anything
I mean, you seem really passionate about Pokemon. I don't get people's like hate on Titanfall 2. I think that game is
not a
hate. I don't hate it. No.
Yeah.
I mean, my suggestion of going to 5 got like actual fucking groans, and I don't understand why.
That's because I just think the top 5 that we have now are better games. Like I didn't even play Hitman, but I will go to bat for that staying in the top 5. And
I mean, I'm not saying Hitman should drop. But
I'm just saying, like, I think all these games on this list deserve to be on here.
Okay.
I just think the top 5 that we have are like my personal preference. And I will go to bat.
I think I have I clearly nobody really wants Titanfall 2 to go up, but that game, they are going into a crowded market with a not great original game, like great multiplayer, but fucking abysmal single player game. Like it didn't exist. Yeah, it didn't exist. They kept saying it did. It didn't exist. And they did a complete about face. They said, "Oh, you like our multiplayer? Well, here are new intriguing modes in addition to the old ones. And oh, don't worry, we'll keep updating it with free DLC, with free maps, just like we did the first one." or I think they did that at some point with the first one. I think all DLC was free. Like, it has the unlock systems just like Call of Duty does, and like, they're just dumb skins, but they're kind of neat. Here is like a group you can join. You can join a network, and whenever that network wants to play, you can just go in there and just say, hey, anyone want to play? And they just all join in your group, and now you're playing with just a set group of people you know will not be assholes or aren't going to be bad at the game. Even though I've never run into that within the game, like within the multiplayer. I think the multiplayer continues to be incredibly designed with, like, yes, it's Call of Duty, but then they also toss in like the AI grunts, where if you're not very good at like being quick on the draw and killing some of the people who are very good at that game, then you have the AI grunts to go and kill, and that helps your team out. So no matter what, as long as you just aren't dying to the AI grunts, you're helping your team out. I think the Titans still feel good. Like, they're clunky, but they're maneuverable. And then the campaign, I said it earlier, like it combines the idea of shooty with jumpy, like, really well. And then tosses in, like, I don't know, you want to time travel? You want to use a fucking electricity gun? And it doesn't even add those. It doesn't just say, here, now you can time travel, and we're just going to build upon this for the rest of the game. It says, here, you can time travel for the next hour and a half in this game. All right, next section, it's the electricity gun. Like, they just give you little vignettes to have fun. And I really appreciated it.
Okay. Let me run a top 5 by you.
Yeah.
Okay. From 5 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon, Doom, Overwatch, Hitman, Valhalla.
Doom is not going that low.
I would be okay with that, but at the same time, like I said, I think Doom is the most consensus winner.
Yeah, I think if we make any changes to this, it should be switching Doom and Valhalla, because
yeah, I think so too. If that's the change.
I disagree.
Here's my thing. Hear me out.
Okay.
I liked Valhalla. I think it would be okay as a number 2 spot. But on the same side of that, I don't like this notion that we're just picking a game because it's going to be the least sort of aggravating among the website.
I mean, that's kind of the goal, is to find a game that most of this website or all of this website can get around behind as game of the year.
That's true. I don't know. I would be fine with this list being like it is, but I don't know.
Let me make my argument for Hitman.
And
hold on. That, yeah.
Hitman being number 1.
I mean, I would love it to be number 1.
I think that would be amazing, but like, I could go
Hitman
just
or
Valhalla, but
higher than Overwatch and Valhalla. You mean?
No, not over Valhalla. I think over Overwatch.
Hey, shh. Higher than anything. I don't care where it lands, but higher.
Okay.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Like, Hitman should be number 1, and I'll tell you why. It is a fucking cornucopia of things to do. It takes itself serious in the idea of, like, hey, you're gonna go kill these people. It takes its systems very seriously, and then that's where the seriousness completely stops, and then says, hey, you have to go from point A to point B and kill this man, and how you do it is however you want. And it just lets you play with everything to the point where, like, you start that game and you suck at it. You go to where the security guards are and they tell you can't get by me, and then you try to go by them, and then you're trespassing, and then you're being shot, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you go from there and you realize, like, oh, I can't go where these security guards are. How do I get by them? Like, you just slowly learn the systems, and then as you slowly learn those systems, you just get better at them, and you slowly start to kind of bend the game to your will and bend the game to how you would like to do it, to the point where, and the opportunities in the games, which is like neat ways to kill people, where you're either dropping a moose on somebody's head or killing, like, pretending to be a prisoner and then choking a general out. Like, all of those teach you how to play that game by showing you these incredibly goofy moments, so that when you want to go back and take the explosive rubber ducky, the remote explosive rubber ducky, and put it in someone's bathtub and then leave and then blow him the fuck up, you can do it. And that's not an opportunity. That's just a thing you can do.
Yeah.
I think that game is incredible.
I do
So,
too. And I mean,
How about
Helmut Kruger as well is just I love Helmut Kruger.
And Helmut Kruger is like the first taste of Goofy in a litany of Goofy characters that just like and some of them aren't your targets. Like in the last one in Japan, there's just a dude in a cowboy hat who is a hospital patient.
The big Texan.
And he's drunk and he's like mouthing off and he is so prototypical terrible American of like, we saved your ass and WW2. It's just like, oh, this guy's an asshole. So you almost don't feel bad sneaking into his room, choking him out, or beating him over the head with like a piece of scissors or something.
Yeah. The one thing I will say about Hitman, based on my experience playing Blood Money, is that even though you're playing like the assassin in that game, they always do a really good job of making the people who you are assassinating, like, you don't feel bad about it. Like, the targets in Blood Money, and this is just a tangent, because I do think, based on your argument, that Hitman could be higher. I don't know how much higher, but like, one good thing about those games is like your targets aren't just like random people. They're like the scum of the earth. Like one of them is like a child molester in like Blood Money. One of them's like, you know, like a terrorist. Like you have justification for, you know, going and taking these people out, but at the same time, there are these like ridiculous characters and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
they don't really do that in this one. They somewhat. I mean, they're drug dealers and
I mean,
they're bad people.
There's straight up, like Michael Myers is straight up someone you kill in this game. Like,
yeah,
like Michael Myers, the actor,
no.
Michael Myers from
Halloween Michael Myers. There's a
he's dressed up in a mask that looks a lot like Michael Myers' mask, and he's like torturing someone in the basement of a house. Yeah, yet it's great.
Yeah.
My argument, I think that should be at least number 2. I would argue it for number 1, but I also don't think Valhalla is the game of the year. I think it's Doom.
I think Valhalla is the game of the year.
I think Valhalla too. Like,
I don't.
I do.
I love Hitman.
I do. I absolutely do.
I love Hitman, Michael. Believe me, I think this is Valhalla, Hitman, Doom, Overwatch based on the way this conversation is going.
I just don't like. I don't get where. Like, I get it. Valhalla is special, but like Doom was fucking incredible. Like,
it was
running around, and like I would even say Overwatch is better than Valhalla, but I don't think that's gonna get me far.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
So can we assume Overwatch is 4?
Sure.
Yes.
But here's my argument against Doom, and I made this argument when I reviewed the game, is that I feel like that last couple of hours it starts to run low on ideas, and it starts to feel like it is just tossing you into like the same situation over and over again. Like, I feel like that game is like the kind of game that hits this really high apex, and that's where it should end, but instead it comes down a little bit before it ends. Yeah. That would be my one caveat to Doom winning.
I would have a question about Valhalla. Does that have a satisfying ending?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
What happens? Because I didn't finish it.
Well, it depends on the route you take through the game.
There are specific character specific endings, but
can I just say the ending that I got, because I got the most basic like good ending. So what happens at the end of the game, if you like pay your rent and all that kind of stuff without having any of the other various, you know, do a special thing to get these character endings, what happens is the sister of Jill's ex-girlfriend, who died of a heart attack, basically, you eventually come to terms with this, and she comes back to the bar, and you reconcile with her in a way. And once you reconcile with her, she takes on kind of like a little sister role to Jill, I would say. And assuming that you got the ending where you pay your rent on time, you go off and you leave the bar on vacation with like your boss for like a week or something like that. Like, the last cutscene you get is you and the boss heading out, and Gil or Jill or I guess Gil would be the shortened version of his name, is there like tending the bar while you and the boss go off on vacation. And so I think that, assuming that you are invested in the character of Jill, invested in her anxieties and her growth as a character, they did the best possible job that they possibly could have at the end of that game wrapping up her character arc and taking her from this sort of frightened, world-weary, and anxious character into somebody who's more willing to accept the changes that are happening around her and more willing to accept her past failures instead of hiding them behind this veneer of working as a bartender, I would say.
Does it feel earned? Because
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
like
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
like
that
because
whole,
the way
sorry.
the way you describe it, it sounds like it just happens rather
No.
than because
No.
Jill. So it does happen over the course of time, not just
it happens
here's the
over,
ending.
Yeah, it happens over like the course of like the last week or so of the game's time. I would
Okay,
say.
and that's like an hour or so in gameplay.
I would say 2 hours,
It's a-
maybe.
Okay,
It's like a 9-hour game. It took me 9 hours to play through it for the first time, and I'd say 2 hours is like an appropriate proportion for that, because they do really build up to that. Like in the last bit of that game, that becomes sort of the central question as to whether or not Jill will reconcile herself with this past of hers, or if she'll just be content to kind of live her life like under the shadow of this past event, I suppose. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong,
okay.
but
You're right. Here's my argument. If we're going to weigh, if we're gonna bring up Valhalla's ending like that, I'm just gonna remind everybody that Doom literally ended with a sequel hook, and that's
Yes.
yeah, no, I remember.
So-
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, Doom definitely hits an apex and then keeps going past that. Like,
Yeah.
I agree.
it does
that
not
game,
end strong.
That game, when it's good, is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think we can just judge the game on like its first 3/4 like that. Like, we have to take
Yeah,
into
sure.
account that not only does this game hit an apex and keep going, it also has the incredibly mediocre multiplayer function. And like,
Yeah.
I know we've been ignoring that talking about this, but that is the full package of that game, and I feel like it does need to be addressed. That like, as 10 out of 10 as most of the experience of that game is, it's got parts that detract from it. It doesn't have a perfect multiplayer. It doesn't have a perfect ending. It doesn't have a perfect last fourth of the game. And I mean, did anybody among you even touch like the snap map function
No.
Yes.
at all? Okay, and that game is also takes up like 60 gigabytes on my PS4 for no adequately explained
I don't think
reason.
we can count how much fucking file space a game
No.
takes
No.
up.
No, but I'm just on a roll here. So
Like,
the point is that
wait, but Doom also added the arcade mode, which I don't know if anyone here's tried it.
I
Is
did.
terrific.
It's
I-
good.
I-
It's
it's
good.
I haven't tried it.
It
so.
takes like the idea of Doom of like, here's this fast-paced shooter, and says, go faster. Like, it just says, just fucking turn it up. Here are floating mines that when you hit them, they just explode and kill everything around them, and that like increases your multiplier. And if you take too long, your multiplier goes down. Like, it just turns everything up. Like, if you thought Doom was at 11, they come along and turn it up. You're like, oh shit, that knob goes higher. Like, and it's free. It's a free update. So I think Doom. It sounds like Doom is number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Valhalla for this site is, I don't know, like, I liked it. I don't want to sit here and be like, yo, Valhalla's just this, but to me, it's just a virtual novel. It does add the bar stuff to it, but I feel like for a lot of that game, even though it does have great writing and even though it does have great character design, I don't want to sit here and shit on this game like it is like, oh, this doesn't even deserve to be on here. But a lot of the game, I'm just clicking. And I don't, like, as much as all of it really did, resonate with me and it has great music and stuff, I'm just clicking. And even the bar stuff, I'm just clicking. And even the drinks, once you learn, like, there's not that many of them. So once you learn them, the only way they really change it up is like, oh, it's a big beer. Like, I don't feel like it really... And some of the, like, get this character drunk and they'll open up to you, and don't get this character... Like, they don't really make that 100% clear. And so and I don't hate that you aren't, like... They aren't just giving you straight up a choice, go left or go right. I don't hate that they make that opaque, but it also makes it feel like... I just feel like I don't know if I'm actually steering this game, or if this game is just showing me a novel that I'm clicking to get through.
let me.
Okay.
I haven't said anything for a while. Please.
All right.
Here's what I have to say. I feel like I don't want to say like, oh, that's the point, but like I feel like in a sense the focus of the gameplay being the mixing of the drinks and just, you know, steering the story that way. I feel like that just makes it's a good representation of what that game is trying to do, because you are playing as the specific character, you are doing this mundane job, but you are doing it in a way that is in a way like it becomes important. Like, every single day, Jill says it's time to mix drinks and change lives, and like that is the express purpose of that she sets out to do. Like, she is doing this mundane thing, but in a way that touches someone's life.
But I understand that, but I never feel like I'm controlling Jill 100%. Like, the choices are clearly made through the mixing of drinks, but then Jill just goes on and says what she's going to say. Like, I don't get to say yes, no. I don't get to say, like, ... Like, I don't... It's just, I kind of watch, like, oh, I hope I made the right drink to get the reaction I wanted.
Well, that's because Jill is a specific character. I feel like if they gave you too much leeway, it would almost ruin what they were trying to do with the game, because, you know, if you acted a specific way, then there would be endings where you just told your ex-girlfriend's sister to fuck off, and that would be...
because other games do that without telling you to, like, there's a way to do that, and just making it all in this kind of opaque, yeah, you're making drinks, and that is symbolic, but then that's all you're doing, and I just watch everything else play out. Like, there are characters that I want to tell, like, just, hey, Jill, tell them to fuck off, because I don't want to see this character anymore.
You don't get to do that. That's the point. Like, the thing that I found
if it was trying to portray, like, her frustration or her, like, lack of will, and was a little bit better, like, pointing that out, I would be more inclined to be like, yeah, totally. This all, like, wraps up around to it itself.
I mean, it's her job.
Yeah,
She can't just say "fuck off, dude" to someone who comes in and pays money and isn't being an absolute, like, bother to the patrons, you know? Even though, like, Donovan is a fucking sexist sleazebag, it's not like he's, like, actively it's realistic. It's like, it's how
people act.
Yeah, it's how people act.
Yeah.
Sure, I guess.
Here's my pieces on this that I've been trying to say. First of all, I don't think that we can push so much for a game like Doom, where the entire experience is based on gameplay, and then turn around and say Valhalla isn't good for the reason that it's based on narrative. Like I know the two aren't equal, but you can't say that this game that's strictly based on this fast-paced gameplay with almost no narrative can contend when you've got this game that is all narrative and just based on clicks. Like, there are plenty of games that are based on clicks that are good games. Like, we talked about Sorcery for a while. That whole game is just clicking. Like, you click on something to move it.
Well, but that game,
click
like,
on...
No, you're, like... All you're doing in Valhalla is clicking to reveal more text. In Sorcery,
Yes.
you're clicking and dragging where your character goes. You're clicking and dragging on how hard you want to hit someone or defend. You're making choices on, like, how do I respond to this witch or this sorcerer or this random monster that's in my way? Do I run away? Do I attack it? And all of that plays, like, all of that's prepared for in that narrative of, like, oh, okay. And sometimes they're false choices. Sometimes you run away from the giant griffin, and you either run away or fight, and both of them are fights. You just run away farther, and maybe you scrape your knee, and now you're, like, hurt more when you fight the griffin, rather than if you just fought it, you would have been fine.
All right. I definitely agree with what you're saying, and, like, that's a good point. My can I move on to, like, my second point about this?
Sure.
Or my second point largely ties into what John is saying. This game, I think, is mostly about... I mean, obviously it's a game about Jill. It's about her. It's about how she grows as a character. And a big part of that narrative is that Jill turns down in the game. She turns down working with the scholarship, like having a research position and like living with her girlfriend because it frightens her. Like she's frightened of the future. And so a lot of this game becomes her accepting this choice that she has made to like work in this bar as like a bartender and coming to terms with that. And I think the way that you experience this game, because the whole point is that you don't have a choice. Like, your choices at this point have been made for you. You do not get to... This isn't a fucking Mass Effect Tales from the Borderlands game. This is a game where you step into, just like any other first-person shooter, you step into the shoes of a specific character and you experience the world through their eyes. And I, for one, really respect the game and how it makes, like you said, like makes these choices opaque in terms of mixing the drinks. Because you're not meant to know ahead of time what these decisions are going to be. Like, you're not supposed to know that if you serve this person this drink, it'll make them say this. Like, that's not the point. The point is that you make your choices based on what you personally think you should do, whether that's trying to get somebody more drunk, whether you have a personal preference to not get them drunk. And you work as this bartender in a world where, if you've ever worked retail, you know that you really can't tell somebody to like fuck off. And I've mentioned this multiple times in my various write-ups of this game, is that for a narrative-based game that takes place in this form of almost like a visual novel, and it has these sort of tropes and like anime kind of tropes that it subverts, that game is very good at presenting a realistic spread of people and ideologies that you don't get a lot of with futuristic narratives. Like, there are people in that game who are assholes, there are people in that game who are perverts, but there are also people in that game who are legitimately great people whose enthusiasm shines through this murk of like this mundane everyday routine that Jill has to go through. It's this very solid balance of showing you all these different sides of humanity that come through this bar. And that's why that game is great, is because even though there's this other separate narrative that's happening in the background, you don't get to experience that, because Jill wouldn't get to experience that, because Jill is stuck bartending all day. And I feel like this game does a great job of putting you in that same position, and therefore allowing you to experience this world from a limited perspective, but also piece together this narrative in a way that depends on your choices, but is much more ambiguous about it than other narrative-based games, and I really respect it for that, because it feels like a hybrid of a game in which you have choice, but which you also have no choice at all, and I think in a way that's sort of the point of the game, if you will. And I don't really know how much else I have to say about it that hasn't already been said, but I think if we're vying for these top two spots, I think it is such a unique experience for so many people that it's just such a great idea that it broaches these topics that so many other like cyberpunk things are not willing to broach. Like, if you look at Deus Ex, like, I would say that this is a better exploration of a futuristic society, like a hypothetical futuristic society, than Deus Ex could ever like hope to be, in a way, because it's so down on the street level. And it's so personal.
I don't think Deus Ex is trying to do that.
Well,
no,
that's
I mean,
fair.
Deus Ex is a very like surface level. Like,
it's its own thing.
Yeah. But I mean,
it saw Blade Runner on TV one time and said, "That's cool."
Yeah, but I mean, I think Ryan's point though is that there is a depth to Valhalla as a world that, you know, other games don't really have, and that it's kind of like it's kind of hard to even like get around in your head that like this is what is going on in the background of other games. Like, it is something that you don't see other games do. Like, this is, you are not the star, you know, like, this is not you being the Superman or whatever,
This isn't,
or like the chosen
you're not the
one.
Doom Marine here.
You are the guy behind the girl, behind the bar in the place that Adam Jensen goes to get information. You know, like, it is that game.
Yeah, and I appreciate the argument that, Ryan, you made, the idea of, like, no, it's not about choice, it's more about, like, real life, and you're just experiencing this bartender's real life. I think my apprehension is, one, we're awarding this because of its narrative, and Hitman, Doom, and Overwatch just don't have that, and like I think we're kind of maybe glossing over the idea that Overwatch, Hitman, and Doom all have incredible gameplay, even if Doom kind of like falters towards the last little bit. I just don't want to like hand this to Valhalla because it all made us feels the feels.
Well,
and whereas like Hitman and Doom and Overwatch are all terrific, and I feel weird. I feel like Valhalla is our easy choice, like Tales was last year, where it's like, yeah, but these other games are still pretty terrific.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, I don't. First of all, I think the easy choice last year was The Witcher 3.
No one believed me.
Yeah,
And
fuckers.
and I apologize for that. Honestly.
and look, I'm not saying that like Hitman and Doom are not great games, because believe me, like they are great games and they play wonderfully. And I mean, I think Hitman is leaps and bounds better than it has any right to be. But I think to an extent, your argument comes across as dismissive of the idea of a game like hitting you. You know, like the purpose of art, I think, should be to evoke emotion and
I'm not like
how
like
it
I
makes
said.
you feel.
I liked Valhalla. Like I'm not like I've tried to caveat it multiple times that I enjoyed that game. Like I'm not trying to dismiss it outright. I'm just saying it was an experience. But when I compare it to like Hitman, where I can go back to it plenty of times and still get the experience I got the third time I did it, but now I see it like different. And I'm like, it's the same level, but I am like, it is like putting on the They Live glasses. I now see things differently. It's like someone gave me the Terminator eye. I can now like, target, waiter. Like I know what I'm looking for now. And I just feel like Valhalla, like it's a wonderful single experience. And like, I want to finish it now, but compared to just Hitman and even Overwatch and Doom, I just, and I'm not sitting here saying it should drop all the way to 4. But I just don't know. I don't know. If everyone else wants to put it at number 1, that's fine. But I don't think it was. I just don't think it pans out compared to those other 3.
Sure, and I mean, like for what it's worth, I am like very close on Hitman as well. Like for me,
come over to the dark side, Niall.
I can't go down that road with you. Like as much as I'm listening to your like points on Hitman and agreeing with every single thing you're saying, my heart is just Valhalla. In
Japan, you can unlock a ninja outfit and you start with the sword next to you.
I know, and I did that, and that's hilarious and amazing.
It's great, and then it expects you to somehow be good at that.
And like I said, I mean, Helmut Kruger is like, oh, I love him, but like,
Streaming Chan
and Say and Rad Sheba, like
it also like some of those characters, like I know that they go out of their way to not make them full cliches. When they first came about, it was just like, oh, an anime cliche, wonderful. And then they grew as characters, but some of that stuff just didn't hit me like, oh great, Streaming Chan. It was like, oh no, this is gonna be bad, isn't it?
See,
and the writing flushed it out and made it better.
Yeah. You also didn't get to see how any of their stories are resolved. Like you didn't see the full length of those arcs.
Sure, and I saw enough of it to know that those characters are more than just the cliches.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. A lot of that game was like, I'm not shocked it's at our number 1. That fits the site. But
all right.
I also I look at those next 3, and I think like I'd rather play any of those again and again and again.
Believe me, if I could justify going down the Hitman route with you, I would. But I just I just can't.
And
I just
targets.
can't.
I don't want to get into semantics here, but this is the best game of 2016.
I think so.
For the site.
All right. No, not like that, but like the best game of 2016. Like, what game is going to like be more symbolic of like this year, and what's going to be?
Oh, that's not why we choose these, though.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I know,
not
but
the
still.
point.
Okay.
Because if that were the point, it would be Doom and just the hell levels.
And
Or
Orwell.
Overwatch.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
Orwell,
It'd be
and we would
Orwell,
all be
yeah.
screaming, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you guys want Orwell at number one, I'm prepared.
No, 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 no,
listen
no,
to
no.
the argument.
All right,
but I mean,
Orwell's number one, and Hitman is tied, and
Let-
Valhalla's removed.
Let me run this by y'all. Which game in the top 5 has both a great story and great gameplay? Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Oh, you mean the same Pokemon gameplay that's been around since 1998?
Because it works.
It's
Yeah.
not Pokemon, John.
I know.
Hey,
I'm-
how about that that Hitman gameplay that sounds pretty much exactly like Blood Money except on the PS4?
I'm just.
No.
How about that Doom gameplay that's just fucking Doom?
Okay,
So,
all right,
on the
okay.
PS4.
Look,
Okay.
let's please just.
Yeah.
All right,
I think
okay.
we know what our number one.
I was
is.
kidding around.
Can I have one more thing?
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
A lot of us seem to not like the ending of Doom,
You want to
and the
bump that
multi-
down one?
and the multiplayer sucks. Like, and I know it's made by the Halo people, and I've played it, and I've actually had fun with it. Overwatch is better.
Okay.
Overwatch is better.
I'm
Okay.
prepared to
Okay.
make
See,
that.
when we came into this list, I saw Overwatch at number 1, then Valhalla and Hitman at number 3.
All right.
If
But
you want to
that's
make an
just
argument
me.
for Overwatch, have
I
at
don't.
it.
I don't want to make an argument for Overwatch.
Okay.
But
I think this list is perfect right now.
I
Except for
think
that
this,
number one.
This is a good list.
Okay.
Bad list.
Here we go. Our 10 best games of 2016 from 10 are Dragon Quest Builders, Orwell, Darkest Dungeon, Stardew Valley, Titanfall 2, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Doom, Overwatch, Hitman, and our best game of 2016 is Valhalla.
you know, I'm really glad y'all just let me a slight Darkest Dungeon into that number 8 spot without ever having to argue for it or
I
anything.
think Darkest
That was
Dungeon
really
is-
nice.
Darkest Dungeon is rad, man. Like, I
Yeah.
would have
Yeah,
got
like,
you up there.
It's a good game.
I mean,
I played it. Like, it's good. Like,
yeah.
like before we're do we have any more arguments at all?
No.
I do not.
None at all.
No. I've said everything I can possibly say about Valhalla. I know y'all don't want Overwatch at number 1. I think Hitman is a very, like, even though I'm arguing this, I think Hitman is a very well-deserved number 2 from what I've seen of that game. So,
Okay.
Dumpus, make it a comeback here.
Okay, alright, so I think that's it. Alright then. That is our top 10 list. That is it. We are done with our Game of the Year podcasts. And we are done with podcasting for the year. After this, we're going to have to do some writing, but other than that, we're pretty much done. So I'd just like to say really quick, congratulations to us as a site, because we have done such amazing things. I'm sorry, I'm thinking I'm so sorry.
Look how proud he is. He's so proud he's laughing
just hide
at
it.
us.
Just
Okay,
hide it.
all
Just
right.
exit out of the chat.
Okay. Alright. So, I'm sorry.
For fuck's sake.
Okay.
Get it together.
Alright. I'm so proud of what we've done this year. We went to E3 by ourselves. We grew exponentially. Our site has gotten way more hits than ever before. I'm just so proud of all of us, and I don't think I can ever say it enough that I love doing this with you guys, and you all are some of the just doing Chooch is some of the best stuff that I do every single day, and I would never trade it for the world. So thank you so much, and I am just so happy that we are that we did this year, and here's to 2017 for hopefully being even better. And thank you so much. If anyone has anything they want to add or anything.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you for having me on the site for the last year and a half or so. Thank you, Michael and Niall, for always, being around and such. I mean, It's great. I love being here on Chooch and, writing with y'all and doing podcasts with you and all that. And I'm glad I finally got to participate in Game of the Year, even if it turned out a little more unexpected than maybe we expected. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but the point is, it's been a good time. Thank you all for having me. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And if anybody else wants to say something, then I'll pass the baton, I suppose.
Okay. Just thank.
Nope.
No, listen. I just want to say again, thank you for listening, and let's all try to make 2017 the best possible year we can make it. And
hell yes.
Yeah, video game.
Let's all poop.
Video Choo Choo will continue next year, and we're gonna keep making poop jokes.
Let's all poop together.
What an appropriate way to round out 2016.
Yeah.
See you all next year. Have a great holiday. Whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate anything, just have a great time. And we will see you very soon with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Thank you, and good night.
What if the Joker had diarrhea?
Fuck off.